Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Ryan, and today I'm going to be going over some of the symptoms and signs of drug abuse for alcohol and the 5 other drugs. And these are just ways for you to possibly see if somebody's under the influence. So first we have alcohol. One of the biggest things about alcohol is that it impairs the person's judgment. So they're not going to be the type of person they usually are. You'll just see they're different. When it comes to their speech, usually be slow, might even slur some words. They just can't get it all out right. Could be loud, boisterous, or incoherent. It really depends on how much alcohol they've had, but it'll usually be something like that. When it comes to their performance, they'll have decreased performance. They'll have some absenteeism, missed deadlines. They just aren't going to be what they used to be. When it comes to physical indicators, one big thing is you'll smell it on them if they've been drinking a lot. So if you want to tell, try and get a smell. Grab their hand, shake them, tell them, hey, how's your day doing? And just get a whiff, see if you smell any alcohol. Other than the smell of alcohol, you might also smell something like mouthwash. Chronic users of alcohol, they become very functional in society after a while, and they find ways to hide it. One way is maybe a lot of mints they take, might drink some mouthwash just to throw the scent off and hide it. When it comes to their behavior, it's just poor judgment. They might be emotional too. Some people get drunk, like, oh, I love you. And then 2 seconds later, they start fighting you. I've seen it happen to people before. So the first drug we're gonna go over is marijuana or weed. Something big about this is it's short-term memory loss is one of the main things I notice about people who are under the influence of weed. When it comes to their speech, it's slow, slurred, kind of like alcohol, broken sentences. They're just jumping from one place to another. You don't know what they're talking about. 1 second they're talking about, oh, I gotta get my oil changed, but I don't know. There's a dude that's supposed to be on the moon tomorrow. Just crazy stuff. Another thing is excessive talking. They just talk, ramble on. You just never get anywhere really. When it comes to performance, they just won't be like what they would usually be. They'll be slower. You might even need to increase supervision. You know, they need to be told more often than what's usually needed to get back to work and whatnot. And it messes with their mind too. They just won't be engaged in anything. When it comes to physical indicators, you'll smell it. It's that skunk smell. It's very distinct. You could smell it on clothes and a lot of things. It lingers real good. Um, and they use it. Bloodshot eyes. That's another biggie with it. They just get really red eyes. You might even see dry mouth. When it comes to their behavior, excess laughter. That's a big thing. I'm around people. They just laugh a bunch and for no reason. Won't even be nothing said. They have an altered sense of time as well. What might be minutes for you, they've just experienced a century. They just aren't in their right mind. Next, we go to cocaine. Unlike the alcohol and marijuana, cocaine is a stimulant. It's like coffee times a million, just a big burst of energy. So it's really shown in their speech. They'll talk real fast, you know, and you just won't understand them either. They just bounce around based off what they're talking about. When it comes to their performance, you might actually see them do a little bit better, but only for a short amount of time. It's a stimulant, so it gives them more energy, but it also decreases their focus. They just can't focus as well. So they just jump between things. and that's just a real big problem. When it comes to the physical indicators of cocaine use, dilated pupils, that's one big one. Just wide black holes in their eyes. They'll twitch or fidget a lot. They just shake around, just moving a lot. One thing I will say is look for maybe a runny nose or something like that. Sinuses is a big thing, it's very common, but when people snort coke, a lot of the time they put it up their nose. That's what snorting is. So you might see a red nose on them or just real runny. That's just another thing to look out for. When it comes to their behavior, they're hyperactive. Like I said, it's a stimulant. It shakes them up a bunch, and they'll just have so much energy, but not enough ways to get rid of it. So they're just always doing something. Next, we have opiates. Opiates are a very strong sedative and they are very addictive. It's why doctors they don't really hand it out a lot unless someone's in an extreme amount of pain. So what it does as speech wise, you really just talking real slow. You're dazing in and out somebody. Most people on opiates won't go to work if they're having a prescription for it. The doctor will tell them not to go to work. But if somebody's using that, abusing it, just slow speech. Just imagine someone super withdrawn. When it comes to performance, they just won't be doing a whole lot of nothing. They'll just barely be moving, just like an empty corpse, almost just walking around. A big physical indicator I'll say is their eyeballs. Look at their eyes. The pupils will be pinpoint. Unlike dilated, where it's super wide, pinpoint really small. Um, they'll be nodding off, drowsy, just not moving a lot. They might also have some pale skin. Some drugs they change your skin because they affect how blood flows through your body. So that's one thing. When it comes to their behavior, look out for someone who's lethargic. They just don't want to do a lot, move around. They're just in their own world, kind of. You might even see mood swings in these people. A lot of emotions running around. Next, we have our amphetamines. That's things like meth and whatnot. Amphetamines, it's another stimulant like cocaine. So you'll have really fast talking, won't really know what they're saying a whole lot. You're just jumping between different things. When it comes to performance, another thing you might see real short term, they're actually doing better. They're working really hard, but it's usually short lived because they just have to find something to distract them, and always jumping in between things. It's just really hard for them to focus that energy on one thing. When it comes to physical indicators, dilated pupils, that's one thing. So really big hole in their eyes. They'll be sweating sometimes or have a dry mouth. When people use amphetamines, it increases the body temperature, so that's why they sweat a lot. That's how the body removes heat from itself. So you'll see stuff like that, maybe even drinking some water. But yeah, there'll be that, and they also maybe be fidgeting a lot or restless with all that energy in them. When it comes to behavior, they could be overconfident, that or even aggressive. It's hard to tell. It depends on the person a lot too. But it's a stimulant, so they also be very hyperactive. They might talk a lot. You could see mood swings. They could be irritable. Next, you have PCPs. Um, One thing about this drug, it's very disassociative. You got your one little world, like fingertips of the world. You got everything else going on. They're just in their own little place. So when it comes to speech, they'll be slurred. You probably won't even understand them, what they're talking about. They're just dazed off in their own place. So when it comes to performance, you just imagine they won't be doing a whole lot. You be talking to them, they just can't understand you. They don't really have a lot of focus. They won't be able to do anything really. They'll just be on their own. When it comes to physical indicators, there's something called nystagmus. So you probably experienced this before. When you get really, really tired, your eyes starts twitching a whole bunch, and you're like, "Oh, stop it!" But you can't stop it. That's what nystagmus is. It's just the eye twitching a lot. And when people are on PCP, that's a noticeable thing that happens to their eyes. Then they always become dilated, so real big holes in their eyes. When it comes to behavior, they really unpredictable, but they're super hyperactive, a lot of agitation going along. But yeah, that's just one other big thing, disassociation. They just won't be around. So these are my references that I found a lot of this information from. Just big takeaways when it comes to alcohol. That's a big impairment on the judgment. You know, marijuana, lots of short-term memory issues. Cocaine, a big stimulant, so big bursts of energy. Opiates are big depressants, so they make you real tired, sedative, not working around. Amphetamines and other big stimulants, big bursts of energy. And PCPs, you're just really withdrawn and in your own world. Hope that helped a lot, and thank you for watching.